Oh, you know what? They can't. And welcome. Welcome to the 8th annual competition of the Road to Annecy. This is the 8th time that we are going to be celebrating a pitching competition here at the Cape Town International Animation Festival. And again, we're in the cloud, and we're doing this all through recorded and Zoom. So a huge thank you to our participants who have participated in a 6-month incubation program for giving us their time and lending us their talents. And I hope you, the viewers at home, are able to sit back and enjoy this great show. Just to give you a sense of how this project happened, for the last 8 years, Cape Town International Animation Festival has been running in conjunction with a variety of partners the Road to Annecy pitching competition. Then, 2 years ago, because of COVID, we realized that we weren't going to be able to put on a show. But luckily, our partners at the Chmologong Digital Precinct came to us and said, we should try and do this online. And so we converted the whole format with these partners to an online format. In addition to that, Chmologong Digital Precinct, along with our sponsors, came on board to put together a 6-month incubation program. So this is the second time that we've done this, and this is the second year. And I think that you'll see from the quality of the presentations that are being done today, South Africa is only growing and growing and growing. So if you're sitting at home and you're watching this and you think to yourself that you might have an idea, make sure to pitch to us and make sure to enter into next year's competition. The masterclasses happened over a series of 6 weeks and had incredible international experts offering their insights completely free of charge to all our delegates. So for this, we'd really like to thank our sponsors at the French Institute of South Africa. Thank you for always supporting South African animation and being with us from the very beginning when we were still Conjanimation 10 years ago. Thank you also to the Alliance Française Development Agency. Thank you for joining us on this journey for Road to Annecy. And of course, none of this is possible without our partners at the Chmologong Digital Precinct, who not only have provided so much of their time and their resources, but also their expertise. Right now, I'd like to introduce the judges to you. You are going to be hearing from today an expert panel of judges, which includes Christophe Herbers, an international children's media consultant, Munia Aram from the Munia Aram Company, Ntabeleng Pora from the Gauteng Film Commission, Wendy Spinks from 0 Point Studios, and Ziyanda Machingwane from the KZN Film Commission. We're so grateful to be able to have your expertise here today. We're so grateful for your insights. Christophe and Munia have worked with South African studios for many, many years and are well aware of what our landscape is and what our growth is. Wendy is an accomplished producer with several great titles under her belt and several great development projects, and has both been on the side of being pitched to and doing the pitching. And then, of course, our partners from KZN and Gauteng Film Commission, Ziyanda and Ntabeleng, who understand the South African landscape of film so well. So just to give you a sense of what today is going to look like, we're going to do a pitch, and then we're going to hear some quick overall thoughts from the judges on what they thought, and then we're also going to invite you on YouTube to put your thoughts down. So please, chat to us in the chat function. You can ask a question, you can say a comment, and we'll share it live with the audience. We are going to listen to 2 pitches, and then we'll take a quick comfort break, and the goal is that by the end of the session, we are going to be announcing a winner. The winner, of course, will be able to attend the Annecy International Animated Film Festival, which is a huge international competition to be able to present their work. But after that, every single one of these participants will also be joining us at Fame Week Africa. So you'll have a chance to be able to see them live, and we'll tell you more about that a little bit later. So right now, we're going to tee up the first project, which is a mom and daughter crew, Dr. T and Cabello Marker, who are going to be presenting their project, the Cleanup Crew. Over to you, Cablau Studios.
To help mothers and daughters and the occasional father and son. And when they help others, it ends up helping them too, because the lessons that they learn then end up enriching their relationship. And now the story is about the push and pull of a changing relationship with a daughter who really wants to move out from home and a mother who is struggling to let go.
Now let's meet the crew. First we have Ma, then Moredi, and then Tanika.
Ma is a natural-born leader and a strategist. She's a woman of style. She never gives up, and she's always quick to solve a problem, albeit academically. That same quickness, though, is also a weakness. Ma can be very impatient and sometimes only sees things one way, which is her way.
On the other hand, we have Moredi, a tech genius in a league of her own. If only she could find where she left her screwdriver. She's able to create fantastical gadgets and machines that are perfectly suited for any mission. Unfortunately, Moredi doesn't always recognize her own strengths and unique contributions. She struggles with self-doubt and comparison to her mother, and she shouldn't.
And then Tanika is the technology, navigation, and communication assistant. She's another one of Moredi's brilliant inventions. She's a bubbly and naive AI. Tanika thinks she has emotions, but she really doesn't. And oftentimes her offbeat timing places Moredi in awkward situations. The story is set all around South Africa with headquarters in the bustling Gauteng province, and the missions are all around the country from coastal cities to rural small towns. A key location is the headquarters, which is set in the Afrofuturistic city of Sandton. It's the most technologically advanced city in the country, and headquarters is where you usually see mom and daughter singing in harmony and in their element.
A key prop to the crew is the Washomatic 5000. This is the crew's mobile lab that integrates seamlessly with Tanika's programming. Ma is the only one who is dedicated to drive the Washomatic. You can see why. Look at Moredi's seat there. And this is the fastest mode of transport. And the reason why we put there the distance from Gauteng to Limpopo is because
the pilot episode happens in Limpopo, in a rural town, and it actually pays homage to our roots as the creators of the show. And what we do with each location is we take iconic elements and give them a futuristic design, like the donkey cart there in the corner. Another key style inspiration is the bright, colorful, and feminine African aesthetic that comes from the Bapedi people in Limpopo, which is also our culture. And an important element is the sound. This is the iconic Sipedi drum and the shakers. It marks the crew's arrival to a mission and signals the use of their powers. The shakers are on their feet, just like in the cleanup crew's design. In a typical episode, we start at HQ, where we introduce a personal conflict between Ma and Moretti, which then is interrupted by a mission alert from Tanika. It's usually in the form of a direct message from a client who's asking for help. And then we suit up. Ma suits up quite elegantly, whereas Moretti scatters around looking for bits and pieces of her outfit. And then it's into the washomatic where they travel, and Tanika is able to brief the team on what is going to be happening with their clients and the mission ahead. And then they arrive at the mission location where we meet the client of that episode. In the pilot episode, we've got a graduating doctor and her over-the-top pageant queen mom. And the crew immediately swaps them when they see their conflict. And then the clients wake up in each other's bodies, all confused, inside a simulation in the washomatic. And the simulation is designed to help them see the other person's perspective. At the same time, the crew has their own tension that's rising. So there's like a parallel conflict. And inadvertently, the clients do fail inside the washomatic. So the washomatic turns black and white. And then once they've learned empathy, the washomatic turns pink. And once the clients have learned empathy, we're able to swap them back. And that same lesson that they've learned is the lesson that the crew applies to their own personal conflict to find a resolution. And then it's mission accomplished and they fly back home to HQ. So season 1 is really about the push and pull between Ma and Moretti's relationship, starting out with Moretti wanting independence and Ma struggling to let go in episode 1. We cover things like generational differences when Ma accidentally downloads a virus that infects Tanika.
Yikes.
And then in episode 5, we have the differences in taste. So Moretti wants a paintball rager for her birthday party, but Ma wants something more elegant. And then we've got opposing opinions, evolving interests, new hobbies, the overwhelm of adulting, and then the beginning of the blending of their lifestyles with a little bit of a clash here and there.
Let me give you a break. Why this story? This is for every girl who wants a healthy relationship with their mom. It is an atypical and a fresh take on body swapping as a superpower. It is inspired by the warm, mostly empathetic, but overly subscribed relationship between my daughter and I. We want to change the stereotypical view of Africa as a poor and dark continent, showcase Black girls as superheroes, have a social impact where we build healthy relationships, but most importantly, have an animated show for girls, a market that is usually not catered for in animation.
So I'm the director of the show, and Dr. T, my mom, is the producer, and we run Cablo Studios, which is a diverse team here in South Africa. We're an award-winning animation studio, and we actually had our short film 3 Teaspoons of Sugar as an official selection at Annecy in 2020. We've since made 8 short films since then, and we've also done an animation residency program.
What is our ask at MIFA? We want to obtain production funding and investment for our series. We want to find a suitable broadcaster and a co-production partner, as well as suitable distributors and merchant partners. Our estimated budget stands at 5 million. Currently, we are pleased to say that we have applied to the NFVF for development funding. What I am proud to say is that because I love to bake, we did something called Cookies for Sponsorship, where I bake cookies for people that sponsor our show. We're also looking at getting funding from Limpopo business people. Kabelo is very proud, and this is in her upper alley, about crowdfunding. And we're going to also look at production, pre-sales, IDC gap, and the DTI rebate according to the percentages you see on the screen there.
Some more that we plan to do with the show is mom and daughter boot camps, talks, watch parties, tea parties, and the Mom and Daughter podcast, which already exists, and we are going to revive it with Cleanup Crew. And these efforts are for local impact and local audience development. And we also believe that the project has potential for merchandising, which we have done before with our short film 3 Teaspoons of Sugar. And this is also to capitalize on mom and daughter marketing, whether it's Who Wore It Best or Mother's Day weekend or Women's Month, which happens in August in South Africa, and International Women's Month, which is in March.
Why Annecy? We want to experience the world's leading animation festival. We want to be discovered as an emerging African women-led animation studio, and we want to create our own IP with a leading international female mentor, and the long form will allow us to have sustainable employment at our studio.
So with that, everyone, this has been the Mom and Daughter Cleanup Crew. You can email us to collaborate with the contacts on screen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yay.
An incredible project from an incredible team. Thank you so much, Dr. T and Cabello, for that beautiful presentation. If I can look to the judges, if anyone puts a hand up because they'd like to start with an initial thought that they'd like to share with the group. We're going to start with Wendy. Wendy, what did you think of the crew?
Yeah, I'm just want to say congratulations. I'm so proud of you. It's brilliant. You have come along from the first stages. You've taken on board so much of the things you've been offered. You've heard things that were said to you. And I just think, what a brilliant pitch. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wendy. That's great pitch, and thank you so much. And a comment has just come in from YouTube over here. Metaluzi wants you to know that they are super excited, and good luck to all the teams over here. And Robin O says, that was really cool. When can we watch this? Good job, Kablau Studios. We're going to move on now to the second project in the lineup. We are here to welcome the very talented Yolanda Mokhoktuzi and her presentation of Lula's Gift. Yolanda, are you ready to present? While we wait for Yolanda, don't forget, of course, that all these participants are going to be joining us at Fame Week Africa. So if YouTube isn't your vibe, then please come to the real event in Cape Town, which will be happening on the 24th to the 26th of August at the Cape Town International Convention Center. CTIF will be there as part of a broader event called Fame Week Africa, which is going to include live action, animation, music, post-production, and in live action, it's all the scripted and unscripted formats. It's also the first time that MIP Africa will be being launched. So there's a real chance to do business, to buy, to sell, and to do yourself what these guys are doing right here. But before we get ahead of ourselves in August, let's go to Yolanda and let's check out Lula, Gift from the Ocean.
Thank you so much, Diane. I hope everyone can see my screen and hear me, and I'm going to just dive right in. Hi, good afternoon. Hello, everyone. My name is Yolanda Mokhoktuzi, and I will be presenting Lula's Gift from the Ocean from 1000 Heights Films. Lula's Gift from the Ocean is a 2D animated series of 11 minutes by 26 episodes. It is for a preschool audience, and it is an underwater fantasy adventure. But before I delve further into the story, I would first like to start with the story. Just 2 seconds. Sorry about that. Okay, I will first start with the story. So when I first had my own underwater adventure a few years ago, 3 very strange, unexpected things happened to me. The first was my soft, big, beautiful afro changed to long, strandy bits of hair. Now, people would stop me quite often because of this hair. And when I told them the story of how it came about and what happened, judging from the looks of disbelief and just the expressions on their faces, I could see that this was a very strange occurrence and something that doesn't necessarily always happen. The second thing that happened is that every time I go down into the ocean, I felt like, as daunting and as scary as it felt like I was entering a whole new world. Like I was going into outer space and seeing so many things I'd never seen before. And I felt like I was a guest in this new world, and I had to learn the rules of this world and also just learn how to respect it. And then consequently fell in love with the ocean. And this was the inspiration for Lula. Lula is a curious, feisty, yet sometimes reserved little girl with a huge, huge imagination. But Lula hates the ocean. The problem, though, is that Lula lives very close to the ocean, and her mom is constantly interrupting her play to invite her and to take her down to the beach. Lula always resists, but one day she relents, and she puts her toes in the ocean, and then her feet, and then her knees. Then all of a sudden, her whole body's in the ocean, and she is frolicking in the water. When she gets home, however, she remembers why she hates the ocean. It has completely ruined her hair, and she vows never, ever to return back into it. The next day, however, her mom gifts her with a pair of enchanting snorkels. And as soon as Lula puts them on, Lula the Explorer is born. Lula is about a reserved young little girl who conquers her fear of the deep ocean little by little with each underwater adventure she takes. She's using her big imagination and her enchanting snorkels. On these everyday adventures she goes on, every time she goes into the water, one of the first characters she meets is one of her new best buddies, Wendy, the whale shark. Now, Wendy's a smart baby whale shark who just completely hits it off with Lula. They become the best of friends, even kind of finishing off each other's sentences. One day in one of their little excursions, they come across a parrotfish called Kudo, who they save from human hands because she always says, I'm always mistaken for a koi fish. And she's completely indebted to both Lula and Wendy and starts going and hanging around them with all of their adventures. However, between Lula's clumsiness in the water and Kudo's very selfish, vain behavior, they often get into trouble. And they're often summoned to Queen Medusa, who has to tell them, obviously give kind of rule and kind of judge them for their actions. But she also is quite a kind queen. She's a fair judge, and she's very protective of Lula, very deliberately teaching her the rules and the ways of the ocean. At one point, she even gives Lula special powers, where Lula can go from her being her normal kind of ocean explorer to her being into like super mermaid mode as a super explorer. And then lastly, one of the characters in the series is Wendy, the deep blue ocean. And as animated and as scary as it is a wonderful place to be and leaves Lula with more questions than answers. So our story takes place in this world of Ura. When Lula puts on her enchanting snorkels, she's transported into this imaginary underwater land. That's a little bit like The Lion King meets Finding Nemo in the community of the sea creatures, and where Lula is the kind of Doc McStuffins in the middle of the ocean. This world is a massive coral reef likened to the beautiful reefs in Botswana or Mozambique, where just color and wonder are never in short supply. A very brief breakdown of what an episode looks like. So we'll start with a curiosity that's sparked in Lula about something. She then puts her enchanting snorkels on and says, time to dive, and she goes into the water. She stays in the shallow end, of course, but with her snorkels on, a transformation happens, and she's all of a sudden like right in the middle of the ocean. Lula goes on her adventure, and after she gets her superpowers from Medusa, she can then turn into the super mermaid, into a super explorer. And before she says it, she goes, mermaid mode, and then she turns into the super explorer. The episode ends with her coming out of the water with her floaters and her telling her mom about all of her adventures in the water. And of course, mom's saying, really? All of that in 5 minutes? And Lula's like, oh, mom, you never understand, as alluded by our previous team. I will now move on to the business of the series. So we've received a little bit of funding thus far, and of course, I've put in our own investment in it, which I've equated to the amount on the screen. And our total development thus far, because I'm not an illustrator, so I am outsourcing quite a bit of my artwork, is about 11,000 euros, well, 11,800 euros. I estimate that the total budget for the series will be about 25.5 million rands, or 1.5 million euros. And these are all the different venues or places that we think that we can source funding to finance the show. We want to have an integrated marketing approach to the concept, where maybe we start off as a book as we're raising funds for the TV series, and then we'll make the book into an animated book, and then maybe come out with the game, and then bring out the Lula merchandise as well. We've already done this with one of our previous projects, and it seems to be gaining some traction, where we have book, you know, and then animated book that people can watch on screen and follow the words as well, then merch, and then of course the game. The core team is myself, Yolanda Kibitz-Makhotusi. I'm the writer and the producer and the creative director on the team, as well as a collaborator, Dominic Dressing. And then artists on the show are Deepapai Studios, who work with our design and just illustration. And then KN Studios, who are animators and compositors. And so I started off the presentation by detailing my story. Wait. Okay, I'll just let me pause it. Sorry, I started off the pitch by, telling the story about my adventure into the my own underwater adventure. And I mentioned three incidents that happened. The third and last thing is that after I came back, I was asked to write a song for kids about my adventures in the ocean. So that's what you'll be listening to right now as you watch a bit of a slideshow of what we assume would kind of be the storyboard for the first episode. Let me try that again.
I want to go into the sea, head off the reef. What can it be? The ocean vast, so big and wide, open water. I want to go into the sea. Here we go. We will find anything into the sea. Here we flow. We swim and hover like whales and eels into the sea.
Thank you so much.
Yolanda, thank you so much. It's just absolutely beautiful work. There's a YouTube comment that's just come through about how much they love the character designs, and I couldn't agree more. They're just such appealing, beautiful characters. Judges, is there anyone there who has an initial thought that they'd like to share with Yolanda and about the project Lula's Gift? Okay.
Can I go, Diane?
Yes, please do, Zianda.
Thank you. Yolanda, thank you so much. Oh my God, like I actually see, your journey as well, since you started, animation. Kudos on, producing content that is Afrocentric for children, and also especially that has to do with swimming and water, for African people, how it's always been. And I think it's really great because, it's going to help a lot of not just kids, but also a lot of people understand underwater creatures and all of the amazing things that happen underwater. And I am just gobsmacked, and I'm wondering, why haven't you come to the Film Commission about this? Because we have the ocean, and we have also skills and crew that people that have learned, from school to film underwater and all of that. So anyway, this is, I guess, an invitation to maybe chat to the Film Commission as well. But it is a great story. I love the characters. I love Lula's journey. And I just, think that there'll be a lot that we learned, especially when it comes to water, swimming, and underwater creatures. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Yana. I definitely take that invitation.
And that's how quickly it happens here at CTIF's and Shimologong Digital Precinct's Road to Annecy. It just takes one pitch and you already get an offer. So don't forget to enter in next year if you're sitting at home thinking that maybe this might be something you're interested in. So I'm sure, as with all remote workers, we know that it's very important to stand and stretch in between your work sessions. So we're going to give everyone a chance to do exactly that. Go make a cup of tea, go do your Pilates up against a wall, take 15 minutes to stretch, and we will meet you back here at 14:45. That's 2:45. Thanks so much. See you now. And welcome back to the 8th annual Road to Annecy pitching competition, hosted by the Cape Town International Animation Festival and our partners at Chemologong Digital Precinct. Sponsored by the French Institute of South Africa and the Alliance Agency of Development of France. We're so glad that you can join us, and we've already seen 2 incredible pictures today of some really beautiful and truly South African work from Kablau Studios and from Yolanda. Yolanda, while we were on a break, we got some notes in from our YouTube audience, which include beautiful work. Well done, Yolanda, from the Popeye Studios. Can she do anything with her hair? It'd be handy if they could be like arms, was one comment that came through. Congratulations, Yolanda. And love Lula's stories. So beautiful, Yolanda. So congratulations, Yolanda, that your audience reaction is super high. People are loving your work. And I think that you're going to go far with this story because it's a great property. We are going to move on swiftly to the next project, which is coming to us live from Offroader and Christopher Cannon. Their project is Rojo. Over to you, Christopher and Connor.
Hi, my name is Connor Roder.
And I'm Christopher Cunningham.
And we are co-creators of Rojo, the Age of Masks. So this is going to be a 2D action adventure superhero show aimed at kids that are 8 to 12. And the first season will be 26 episodes of about 24 minutes.
A timid high schooler teams up with a girl from the future and a boisterous jokester to overcome nefarious villains and the corrupted forces of nature.
So in this world, there are monsters called the Voids that are wreaking havoc on civilization. But there are heroes called Rojo that help protect our cities and humanity from these monsters. For 13-year-old Leo Landis, however, with the passing of his aunt, the previous Cheetah Rojo, it is up to him to take up the mantle as the next hero. Unfortunately, he is not your typical 13-year-old kid. He's quite shy, doesn't really know how to socialize with other kids his own age. And more importantly, he doesn't know if he can take up the responsibility of this power. And this power, when putting on the mask of the cheetah, he can basically use it to gain powers of the cheetah. So he's able to run at super speed, leap further than any normal human. He has heightened senses and great agility.
When Azara, the blue crane Rojo, finds herself traveling back in time and stuck in the present, she realizes that it's her responsibility to train Leo to become the hero she knows he's destined to be. Leo also meets another young hero named Fricky, who's the Hippo Rojo, during a battle.
So in this world, there is a team called the Tribe, and it is up to them to help protect the innocence of our world. The leader of the tribe, Oren Pride, the mighty Lion Rojo, has ulterior motives as to why he is even a hero in the first place. Their main goal during the story is to capture a villain who has just recently entered the scene, a villain by the name of Chimera, who has the powers of 3 animals. And his task is to basically steal all the masks in the world.
Leo, Azara, and Fricky must overcome countless hardships and battle emotional turmoils as they learn what it is to work as a team and as they navigate who their friends and enemies really are.
So Leo Landis, he is a 13-year-old kid and would want the thing he'd want to do most in the world is just be alone in his room. But that's not an option when you become a hero. So he, despite his timidness, however, he does get a sense of confidence when he puts on his mask. And while using his great intellect, he can also use his great knowledge of animals to help himself and his team to come up with solutions that they find themselves in.
Leo feels very unprepared, and he wishes that he could have been there to stop his aunt from leaving to her demise. Leo has social anxiety, and so he battles with communicating and asking for help, even from his new friends Ricky and Azara.
So Izara is she's always fought for herself and alone, but that all changes when she unexpectedly gets brought into our time. And what she lands up doing is leading her own team, her team being Leo and Fricky. She acts as a big sister and helps our young heroes learn to use their powers as she's a little bit more experienced.
Azara is a big sister to our younger heroes, and she's been a hero because she's been a hero a lot longer. She has the powers of agility and flight, and a new empathic ability which allows her to read the emotions of the foes that they face. She uses her ability of flight comes from the help of her high-tech jetpack and suit that she uses, and she also enjoys listening to the local music of our time while she battles and trains.
Fricky Viljoen is he's
the third member of our team.
Thank you.
And he meets with Leo on the battlefield while they're both fighting. Fricky uses humor as a defense mechanism. He likes to make light of the stressful situations that they find themselves in, and he often battles with whether or not he's worthy of being a hero.
His abilities include super strength. He's able to harden his skin so that rocks and bullets just bounce right off them. He's able to make rock gauntlets by using any surface, and he's able to expand his size to fit whatever situation they need. Now, Orin Pride, the mighty lion Rojo. So his powers basically are just superhuman strength and reflexes. So he's quite charismatic and basically loved by all. And being the leader of the tribe, he has gained the respect of all the members. So, and when he recognizes Leo and friends as reckless and rebellious, he steps in as a mentor figure, which Leo kind of jumps up and down for joy because this is basically his icon. So he, but despite this, you can tell that there are ulterior motives to Orin's actions, and basically his main goal is to find this very mysterious figure, Chimera, to stop him from stealing all the masks.
Chimera is on a mission to collect and steal all of the masks. His mannerisms are erratic, and his mind has been consumed by the mask that he wears. Chimera has a mask that's a combination of all three masks, and it allows him the power of three animals. That's the lion's strength, the snake's speed, and the goat's agility. The tribe is trying to hunt him down, but his calculated yet unpredictable nature keeps him one step ahead of them.
And then we get the Devoids, the monsters. These are corrupted forces of nature that have been causing havoc for centuries, but they resemble strange mutated animals with unnerving looking masks for heads. They appear through these large portals that look like tendrils and roots from a tree.
When Azara when Azara uses her new empathic ability, she senses that the Devoids don't actually mean harm, and so she decides that instead of capturing or eradicating the Devoids, they're going to try and just get them back through these portals that are appearing and try and put them back to where they came from.
So in this world, the story takes place in a Cape Town that's not too different from what we know. So civilization is basically the same, but of course there are these monsters running around, and we have cities across the world that are protected by these Rojo.
A standalone episode will usually play out the same way. The heroes are tested or defeated, they try to improve themselves, a conflict arises, They learn, they come back and win. However, all victories are not guaranteed or sweet, and sometimes they will need to look from a new perspective to see a solution.
So the tone and style of the show will be very lighthearted, but at times serious, and tackle a lot of very serious issues. So we're taking inspiration from old 80s comics that are quite bright and captures your attention very, very quickly. But along with this, we are taking older traditional African inspiration to help inspire some of our more visual aspects of the show. The location-wise, we're using Cape Town as like a main setting, but we'll be able to see a lot of very familiar landmarks like the Cape Town Stadium and streets of Cape Town, and even the beaches in certain episodes. The music will be fairly similar to Black Panther, as it has a lot of percussion instruments like marimbas and African drums. So we'll basically be trying to get a balance between, again, traditional African music while also including more modern takes on it.
And now the franchise potential. We have a lot of ideas for future seasons and a lot of things that aren't explored in these episodes. We plan on having Azula discover why she's been pulled back in time and trapped in our time. We have some villains are defeated, but there are still more villains out there in this world. And of course, there's so much African culture and inspiration that we can take and incorporate into our stories.
We'll also be using crowdfunding to help fund our show, of course, and we're planning on using extra IPs like comics and merchandise to help create a community to gain support for the show.
We'd like to put together a dedicated team of animators and writers to help develop our story and create something like a teaser trailer to use as proof of concept.
Myself, I've studied animation for 3 years, and I have one year of experience in the industry.
And I've also studied film, also at SAE, and I've worked on set and in production. Sorry.
Cool. Thank you for listening, watching, and I hope that you guys find yourselves interested in our project.
Thank you so much, Connor and Christopher. How wonderful to see such young talent presenting such incredible work using the diverse and beautiful aesthetic that comes from Africa. Beautiful, beautiful work. We've got some comments from YouTube coming through here. Rojo is giving me Kipo vibes, which is a pretty nice compliment. Nicely developed concept. Wow, these are awesome. So well done, guys. The audience really enjoyed that work. If I can look to our judges, perhaps someone from our judges wants to give an overall comment. Christoph, let's go over to you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, very nice young team. I want first to also congratulate the two first ones, the Power Ladies. Well done, well targeted, and really well developed. So now to the young team of two guys. I have to be very honest, the character I like the most is your female character, the superhero from the other times. Congratulations on that. I think you progressed. Some of new design is really good. It's very ambitious, but I think you further need to check what's the focus, to really further push the stories, to really understand what's the main focus, to come, I think, to a better understanding and a better next steps for you. There are too many characters and stuff in it that I love your youth and your ambition, your main female characters, the rest. But I think there are further steps to be done in the development of the concept and the stories. Sorry to be a harsh judge, but I'm half German. That's where it's coming from. Well done. Good luck further.
Thank you so much. And we want to head over to Munia as well, who also would like to say something to the team.
Yeah, I just would like to say that it's a very good pitch because we worked together, and I would like to mention that my favorite characters are Connor and Chris. Yeah, bravo. You did a great job. You listened to us, to our comments, and yeah, it's amazing. You take us to your journey. I want to know more, Rojo, how it goes. And yeah, you have many characters, but my favorites are definitely Connor and Chris. You improved so much. I'm really proud of you, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'd like to hear from Wendy as well.
Just a quick one to, agreeing with both Christoph and Munia, and just to say on all of their comments, while I'm agreeing, and I'm also just saying congratulations, because the improvement from where you were to where you are is huge. You're so young and you took so much on board, and I want to congratulate you for that and encourage you to keep going. Like, don't give up, but keep listening, because you're showing that you're listening, so keep listening. Christoph's comments were really valid, and I just want to say your artwork and your character designs, it's beautiful, and the style I think could do really well. So I find your project really exciting and encourage you to keep going. Well done.
Thank you to the team. Let's head over to Ntabaleng, who also wants to add to the comments.
Hi. Yes, thank you, guys. I think the presentation was great. However, I still really feel that because there's a lot of superpowers and hero storylines, you might just have a challenge with attracting a lot of investors. So I think my advice is for you to bring in the African context of it, which is obviously your music, your locations, your characters are very strong, which is another added advantage. So use the things that will then find your presentation to be unique, to then bring those out, because of, the storylines of superhero, they've been done over and over again. So you need to then find the selling point as to what is it that could be more attractive. And I think where your locations, your music, and your characters, you've got something going there, and I think capitalize on your advantages, and I'm happy.
So you won in terms of comments, by the way, guys. You got the most comments. #1 in comments collection.
Yeah.
And that's to remind everyone that, of course, the teams do receive a full sheet of comments at the end of this to help them take their projects to the next level. We're just finding our flow now, and we're finding our jam. So I think that we're all starting to get a little bit more involved. But we're so thrilled that you can join us here at the 8th Annual Cape Town International Animation Festival in Chimologong Precinct, Road to Annecy. We've just heard from Connor and Christopher on their latest project, Rojo. And we're going to head over to the final pitch project of the day, which is The Adventure of Wolf and Wolf with Marley and Voldemar Coetzee. It's lovely to have you here, guys, and it's lovely to see your project. Over to you.
Hello. Just one technical glitch.
Technical glitch here. Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you, Diane. Good afternoon. And good afternoon to all the judges and everyone watching on YouTube. I'm Marley.
And I'm Voldemar.
And we're the creators of The Adventures of Wolf and Wolf, a 7-minute episode 2D series aimed at preschoolers aged 3 to 6. We're looking at 26 episodes of action-adventure underwritten with a social-emotional undertone. We'd like to transport you to a small African village where a 7-year-old wolf, together with his imaginary friend, shows preschoolers how to tame big emotions into personal power when they go on courage-building and challenging action-filled adventures. Supported by their motley crew of after-school friends, this duo turns solving problems into imaginary play using their favorite toys, their wire cars.
But before we continue, telling you about Wolf and his doll that comes to life, let's quickly delve into the awesomeness of what wire cars are and what it is. These 1 to 10 scale cars are made from bent wire into the outline of a car. A long wire or stick is attached to the front axle so the child can push and steer it as it wishes. These are distinctively African toys that plays a huge role in our play pattern when it becomes in the real world, and when it becomes life-size rescue vehicles during the imaginary play. The first wire car we would like to introduce to you is the short wheelbase Offroader. It's trustworthy and practical, just like its owner, the main character, Wolf. He's like a bit of a Indiana Jones, Crocodile Dundee, or even James Bond type character. Wolf carries the series with his love for adventure, bravery, practical thinking, empathy. He's the character that also initiates most of the rescue missions together with Piri, his imaginary friend. That's also his doll.
But what is one of Wolf's secrets to being so calm and confident? It's always having Piri, his imaginary friend, and his emotional springboard by his side. So Piri is Wolf's toy doll, and you can often find her in the nook of his little elbow. But when reality is pushed into an imaginary adventurous direction, Piri comes to life in an Oprah-like fearlessness and curiosity mixed with Hermione Granger's level-headed logic. Together, Wolf and Piri are the brawn and brains of each adventure in each episode. We'd also quickly like to introduce you to Sibu, who is the complete opposite of calm, and he buzzes like an over-caffeinated toddler.
The frantic lion.
In each episode, Sibu does his homework at bustling Piri Cafe, which is obviously also the epicenter of all town-related news. So when he overhears conversations about a problem in or around town, Sibu quickly blows up the situation into a full-scale emergency and has to tell his friends immediately. So this makes for many a funny moment. As clumsy and panicked as he is, he will bump into things, fall over his own feet, and often go into a Will Ferrell-like high-pitched voice.
This is an emergency!
We also have a cast of secondary characters, which is a cast of kids characters that are the friends that join Wolf and Piri on their adventure. So the kids get chosen per adventure according to their personality, strength, and the wirecar's traits. And these are also the friends that then learn how to tame their big feelings into personal power. We've got our fierce and protective meerkats, Talita and Wendy, the girls. Then we've got clumsy and goofy monkey Logan. We've also got the shy and very funny giraffe Mfuyo, and a very creative and smart little mouse, Peyton. We've also got a revolving cast of adult characters such as Jabulani and Mama PC, but they, even though they're interacted with, they're never part of any of the problem solutions.
Imagine the delicious smell of a Sheshonyama braai hanging in the air. A tourist bus travels past a street performer that adds to the lively market noises near the harbor. The vibrant and detailed town has many opportunities for high volume of episodes with locations such as a cafe, a restaurant, hairdresser, we've got a mechanic shop. We also have a soccer field, museum, mountain, cliffs, roads, houses, and then also our famous nature game reserve that borders against the town. That allows us to have traffic that comes through town towards the nature reserve. So there's a constant flow of scenarios waiting to happen.
So with art direction from Voldemar here, who is also a SAFTA-winning production designer, we'd aim to create a world that is very authentic South African village, with a colorful mix of building styles, textures, props, small details that are visually stimulating for our young viewers, as well as for the parent or guardian that watches with them. Here we'd like to reference a film like Disney's Encanto, which is a very beautifully detailed representation of a location and culture. So we have developed a pilot script as well as story outlines for episodes such as Colorful Mrs. Snake, Magnificent Monsieur Caniche, The Wedding Speech, Monkeys Can't Be Afraid of Heights, and Festive Season Furore. Our Firefly Full pilot episode, A Lyrical Lantern, revolves around building the courage to face your fear of the dark. But so to understand how an episode format would work, let's quickly tell you about what actually happens in a typical episode. So our friends are playing in front of Cafe Piri Piri. Then, anxious lion, Cebu alerts the friends to an emergency situation. Physical comedy then always follows his very melodramatic attempt to forewarn these friends, but no one really takes him seriously except for adventurous little wolf that then encourages the group that they must be the ones that save the day. Obviously, Piri, his imaginary friend, also helps him to encourage the friends. So on the beat of a jazzy drum, we then have a formatted sequence which has the same visuals in every episode, which takes our cast from the real world into the imaginary world. So the format begins with a 3-step action plan that's drawn up in the sand.
It's Wolf's hand taking the stick, drawing it in the sand.
Our friends then shout an excited Sheshisa, which is displayed on the screen.
It means go, go, go.
And then in the midst of a superior jump, my wolf and his doll, she magically transforms into a life-size Speedy, whereafter they land in the seat of Wolf's wire car.
Also life-size.
Also life-size. This is then the end of the formatted sequence, but we now find our friends in their life-size rescue vehicles on an exhilarating driving sequence, drift scenes, you name it.
This is the XXX James Bond sequence car chase towards the scenario.
Has to be there. So as the friends solve the physical problem at hand, an anxiety driven fear then arises for the friend or friends that has been helping Wolf and Piri. With our psychologist underwritten courage building techniques, such as singing a song when you're nervous or taking things one step at a time, Wolf and Piri then guides this friend to either just face the fear or help to deal with it.
Back in the real world.
We end with a group of friends having a quetza and a milk jaffle at table.
Quetza is a bit of a ginger beer drink.
Let's see. It's noticeable in the action of the friends when anxiety has been solved that although the life lesson has been learned in imaginary world, they now have the skills to use this in the real world. And this brings us directly to our statement of intent, which is to instill the building blocks for emotional resilience at a preschool age. We do this with anxiety combating tools written into various aspects of each of our episodes. And in doing this, we hope to give kids the ability to self-regulate physical and emotional reaction to fears and uncertainties, setting them up just to be able to be better equipped at handling problems such as cyberbullying, fear of rejection, fear of failure, from that very difficult tween and teen life cycle phase right into adulthood.
As creators of the show, we have approximately 15 years of experience in 5 SAFTA awards and nominations as a costume designer and as production designer within the live action side of film and television. Also on our team is renowned South African animation company Mind's Eye Creative, as well as our facilitating production house Nachtvlucht that's based in Cape Town.
We also own an 8-year-old South African kids clothing brand, Wolf with Kids, and we have now turned this entire business into a merchandise brand based on the animations characters. Some of our merchandise products are already selling as top-ranking products in their categories on South Africa's largest online retailer, takelot.com. Adding to the play pattern for our series, we're also in development with South African-produced soft toys and also wire cars. So we have an estimated budget for 26 episodes of about 3.2 million euros. We are looking for a broadcaster as well as for funding for the rest of the development and of course for production. We are open to co-productions, and we've also discussed the project with South Africa's Industrial Development Corporation.
Yeah.
So come along with us. We'd love you to join the adventures of Wolf and Wolf in sharing the excitement of a South African childhood with the world.
Worldwide.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to the team. I think it's just so incredible that we've been able to come together as a community and see 4 incredible pictures that are clearly from the African content, clearly have an African aesthetic, and are brand new stories that we haven't seen before. So congratulations to everyone. Some comments that came through for the Wolf and Wolf team on YouTube from Popeye Studios. Love this project, so nostalgic. Moteki wants you to know that bringing back the play aspect with the story, kids no longer play outside and would make a cool reminder of playing and being creative and building and making those wire cars. Jabulani has a nice cynical expression, very cute. I see this in a kid's book. I love the normalizing of boys playing with dolls. Ah, wire cars. I remember going to the beachfront in Durban as a kid and seeing all the vendors selling these. These are just some of the comments that have come through on YouTube. And if our judges have anything that they would like to add to that? Christoph, I think we are turning to you.
Yeah, I'm not scared of being the first idiot. I really love it, as the three others. I love the very close to kids in their imagination and the little games. I think the design that can further evolve, we evolved already. Some of the pictures I saw are much closer to what can be animated already. And it's really big progress I see there. Are close to that also. It looks almost like kids drawing, which is very convergent and good with the topics, with the story. I think you might get in the story, in the history of the first James Bond with ginger beer preschool show. I'm not sure you can further push that to the BBC and the likes of them. You might want to think about the target. I think it might be a bit older than just preschool, in my opinion. Maybe thinking about that. The scope is maybe a bit older, but otherwise, yes, congratulations. I think you're on your way.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Christoph, thank you so much for your comments. I think we also want to hear from Wendy, and just how lovely to see how we're bringing through our own stories into all our work, from Lulu's underwater adventure, to wire cars, to superheroes, to a mom and daughter. It's lovely to see such personal stories being interpreted in a global way and a global style. Wendy, over to you.
Di, I couldn't agree with you more that all four have been so unique. It's a year of complete difference from the years of past. I'm really impressed with everyone. But just to talk to Wolf and Wolf, great presentation. I loved the bounce between the two of you. That was really good. And the progress as well. The feedback we gave you and the progress that you made on bringing this package together in the way that you have in such a short space of time is fantastic. So I commend you on that, and I really loved listening to it. I have always loved your project because I think it's really unique. It's a great concept, and I wish you everything of the best. I can't wait to see it animated. Those designs, I'm sure, are going to they're going to change slightly, and I'm really interested to see where they go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Wendy. Well, there we come to the point in our show where we have officially seen all four projects. So we are now going... No, sorry, Zianda. Come and chat, Zianda.
Thank you, Christoph. Thank you, Diane. I just wanted to say, overall, great stories, great presentations, kudos to everyone. I mean, you guys are doing so well. And now to Wolf and Wolf, I think it's such a brave story, targeting a young audience, that tackling anxiety, but in a soft manner that will appeal to a palette of toddlers. And I think, since this generation is very much into digital, this story is very important to help the toddlers cope in this world. And I think I actually admire, that is character driven, and that the kids will relate to the toys, and I think the toys will be a big attraction to the story. And I mean, we've seen shows like Cocomelon and how kids enjoy it. I know that Christopher was saying maybe they should expand into a bigger audience, which I think actually one of my comments was that maybe the crisis should be more targeted towards toddlers than older kids. But I think now I can see what Christopher was saying about expanding it to the older audience. But otherwise, well done, and thank you very much for all of the pitches.
Thank you.
And we're going to head straight over to Ntabeling for the final thoughts from our judges. Ntabeleng?
Yes, for me, yes, for me, it's just a quick one. Just to tell the team that the GFC have opened for funding. So with everybody looking for development funding, it's an opportunity for them to also look into our website and see if it's possible for them to apply for funding whilst we're still trying to grapple for money and ensuring that at least once we go international, we need less and less from our investors. Thank you.
Thank you.
You heard it here first. Not just for the pitches that are here on our platform, but also for the pitches at home with you. GFC funding is now open, and so you should be taking your pitch Bibles there, and you should be applying for development funds. So, what's next? The next step in our phase is that we are going to send all our judges to a breakaway room to deliberate. In the interim, we're going to take a quick 15-minute break on our side to give them a chance to chat and to discuss their feedback. And then when we come back, we'll be announcing the winner of the 8th edition of the Road to Annecy competition live here on YouTube. Thank you, judges. Off you go. And thank you to our participants for all the wonderful work. Audience at home, we'll see you back in 15 minutes, which is at 20 to 4, 15:40 exactly. See you then. And we're back. Welcome back to the Cape Town International Animation Festival and Chimologong Digital Precinct Road to Annecy pitching competition. We've seen 4 incredible projects today, and we are thrilled to have been able to bring them to our stage and to you, our audience. We want to remind you, of course, that if you at home are interested in the pitching competition, please pay attention to social media, whether it's Chimologong or whether it's Kataf. Like and subscribe this channel so that you can stay up to date with news, with extra special festival presentations and masterclasses that all get posted here, and of course the announcement of when 2023's Road to Annecy competition will be happening again. Also, while we've still got you here, and before we go into the judges' room to hand over to them and hear their feedback, we want to again thank everyone at the Chimologong Digital Precinct for their support in getting this incubation off the ground and for helping us to build this beautiful pitching competition, which is really one of the highlights of my year. We also want to thanks to our partners and to our sponsors, the French Institute of South Africa, and of course the Alliance Française Development Agency. And now we get to the exciting bit, the judging. Now remember, the judging isn't just for the pitches that have arrived here today. You're going to understand key insights from top international judges by listening to how they've reacted to other pitches. So let's hand over to our judges and get them all into the room here with us. Nice to have you guys. Let's hand over to Christoph to lead our judging session.
Yeah, it's me leading, not because I'm French, but I was the only boy in the group. So kindly the ladies gave me this thing. And what we want to do is we would love to send everyone to Annecy to do a cleanup team underwater with masks and wolves. But this is not possible. I will ask the French president, the next one, hoping it's the right one, to maybe extend the money we give to that Rainbow Nation thing, but it's not possible. So what we suggest is everyone thought it would be good to summarize what we really liked in each project. So I would hand over to, if I don't mistake, to Ziyanda to talk first about cleanup crew that we really loved.
Thank you, Christoph. Thank you so much to the mother-daughter duo. A great presentation, great story. It is actually a unique story. I mean, it's really exciting, you know, to see a story that's focusing on such a universal topic, which is a mother-daughter relationship. And also what I really liked about the story is that it's set in the future, but also puts a spotlight on Limpopo, which is a rural area that you would not really normally see on screen. So it's really exciting, you know, to see the team utilizing both the artificial intelligence and animation side of the story, and also the locations that, you know, audiences would normally see on screen. I mean, I think what my comments were in terms of feedback was maybe we could make it a little bit more mysterious. So for instance, you know, the audience can be given like messages or symbols that we can then dissect, you know, and that will also help us make sense of this world. And also, you know, if we can just get into Tanika's head to see how she makes these gadgets and, you know, that are so powerful. And so that will also help us to see who exactly she is and get into the process of these gadgets that are made. For instance, also in terms of how they work, are they always working perfectly all the time? So I was thinking about the Washomatic, which was the example that was given. Is it possible that sometimes the Washomatic breaks, you know, and if it does, then what does the mother-daughter duo do? Does that mean then they have to now tap into their human element and just see how they can work together as a team? And that will also help us in terms of seeing their relationship and see them build their relationship. But I think overall it's a really great story, and I really think that it has a lot of potential. I know the mother-daughter duo have been doing a lot of work in animation, which I'm really, really proud of, and I'm excited about, because as South Africa, our focus and our mandate is to develop animation. So I am really excited, and I'm saying to them, well done, and wish them all the best. Thank you.
Cool. And maybe you want to rename the genius Yanda, because she might give you some money then to continue. But fabulous. Yes, I admire you too. My mom was also fabulous, and I'm not sure I was as good a daughter as your daughter is. So now for Lula's gift, we'll have few words of Nanbelling, please.
Oh, yes. Daveling. Thank you, Christopher.
Nanbelling, yes.
Lula's gift was a great presentation. More than anything, I think the mix between the educational and the entertainment settles well, and I think it's easy for even the audiences to relate with. And you always want it, particularly for developing content, for audiences to come out, to have something that comes out of it, but also dealing with the stereotype of how generally, you know, as young kids may also be afraid of water, and how that story is set in the water also is amazing, but also bringing that futuristic character into it. Also, I think another thing that is very important is to ensure that you know, in the initial presentations, there were an extended business merchandising and business plans which were part of this project. So I think also that brings in another element in which one needs to consider to say, whilst we're still continuing with the production, the development of this production, still continue to have all these other programs which you had in mind that will then bring the story to life before it's even completed. But also I think in terms of the storyline and the character design, as well as the pitch itself, it has a great potential to also attract potential investors and international investors. But also I think the storyline itself also has a potential to also go into wider territories. And really the focus will not only be for Africa. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Tabelling, and I'm sure you're gonna swim with her around to make it work successfully in South Africa and outside. And if I remember well, Ziyanda, you also invited her, right, to talk to you, right? Okay, so now we go totally unmasked to our amazing duo of Rojo, and Wendy is going to give you a few hints.
So guys, just firstly, we've said quite a bit, so it's going to be a little bit of a repeat, but I want to say to you, well done again. Being such a young team, and then to receive 2 people on the jury to have actually come out and said that you had the highest scores in design. So I would just like to say that the entire jury has made a note about that and would like to congratulate you, being the youngest team, to actually have such polished, beautiful visuals that you have brought through into your presentation. So congratulations. That's huge. So I think, yeah, exactly. Kudos, guys. Well done. What we do recommend is that you now look, and I think you know that you spoke to it yourself, find a writer, find someone to collaborate with. What you are bringing there is great. It's a little bit complex. I think working with a writer will really help you to get into, you know, if you actually do a sample script. So if you do a spec script of this, you're going to understand a lot of your challenges of your story, get into the structure of it, which really needs to be sort of worked through. And with a writer, you'll be able to better do that. I think you're at an earlier stage story-wise than a lot of the rest of the people here. And I think putting in some more development there will only take this project further, because there's huge potential. There's potential in your story from its African nature. Try to work it to be really, stick to its uniqueness. So make sure that it doesn't become like something we've seen before. And use those elements of the African heritage, the African masks, as you are. So these are all things that are already there. Keep them the focus, bring them forward, that beautiful music that's going to be there. But find partners, get more money, and work on story structure and simplifying it a little bit more so that it is clearer as what it is as a show and what the message is. And of course, it can be expanded into, you know, bigger things down the road. Keep the ambition manageable is a great tip that I can leave you with. Well done. I'm really proud of you. Well done.
Cool. Thank you very much, Wendy. Thanks to the host team. Youth is not an impediment, it's a promise. So good luck. Make it happen. Get a girl on board. That's always useful. And now to the last project, the Wolf and Wolf team, then Munya is going to give few words also. Thank you.
Wolf and Wolf. What a fantastic duo. I really loved your pitch. You have such a great energy and you took us to a wonderful world. I love the fact that it's unique and original to see Africa through wolf characters, and the drawing is simply artistic and really beautiful. We see a huge potential internationally, so it can easily travel, and I really love the fact that I already sense the African flavor. I want to smell the food and the spices, and also the fact that it's really nostalgic, you know, with the toys that we discover or rediscover if we are older enough. And yeah, it's really a beautiful project that I personally really like. And I've really pointed out the pitch. The pitch, it's great energy, great balance between you two. And I really like the fact that you took the lead, Molly, and and you used your partner to help you a bit, but he was not there too much. So girl power. No, I think you should, as Christoph mentioned, think about the target, because maybe it's not for preschool, maybe a older audience, but it's really great that you can take the kids outside their home, outside their smartphones, outside their video games, and play with the toys that we used to play when we were younger. And yeah, discover Africa through the eyes of these beautiful and cute characters. Great potential in terms of merchandise, in terms of books, toys, apparels, and everything that you can think about as to build a real brand with the Wolf and Wolf. And I think it has a strong potential for that. Congratulations to you too.
Yeah, cool. So yes, basically we agreed on an order now, running order. I don't know when we'll announce I think you'll take back the lead, Diane, to announce how we do that. But I really want to also, on the last one, on Wolf and Wolf, I do believe you start with 3+. It is also very cute and sweet for toddler, but I think can go a bit further higher, because you talk about emotions, anxiety, and all that. And that goes up to, I would say, 7, 8, what we call bridge stuff. So how do we do now?
Have we lost his sound? And similar to live TV, live YouTube is also as exciting. And so we are going to repatch back into the team over here. We're very lucky, though, that we didn't have any load shedding or that we didn't have any internet. So I'll take my wins where we can get them. So once we've got Christoph back, we're going to ask everyone. Let's see if we've got that back. Not just yet. Let me take this opportunity to tell you a little bit more about Fame Week Africa. Fame Week Africa is going to be happening from the 24th to the 26th of August here at the Cape Town International Convention Center. It's an opportunity to meet with buyers, distributors, development executives from all the major studios, and is a chance not only to pitch your creative work, but also to pitch your studios. It's not all about original IP, it is also about service work coming through to Africa. So if you are interested in doing business here on the continent with international studios, then Fame Week Africa is the place for you to be from the 24th to the 26th of August. You can find out more information on the Fame Week Africa website, on the Cape Town International Animation Festival website, and of course, all our social media. We're so excited to have everyone here from these pitches being able to join us and being able to be with us. We've seen an incredible wealth of work over the entire session, and it's now time to go live back to the judges to hear their final deliberations. Judges, welcome back.
Hello again. Hello. I'm the only non-female judge. The rest was girl power. But I'm very, very happy in the name of these fantastic 5 people to say it was an amazing journey. There is a runner-up. We basically saw the 4 pitches, and one show came number 2 or 1 or 3 in our judges, and it was Wolf and Wolf. So congratulations for being number 2.
Thank you.
Well done. Your project's beautiful.
It doesn't bring you to Annecy, but to the satisfaction of being the number 2. And the number 1 is an amazing project, a very strong, big ambition for girls in the world. And it is Lula's Gift. Thank you. Congratulations. Join the world of SpongeBob and Dora the Explorer. Yolanda, good luck.
Yay! Thank you. Okay, I was not expecting that. I don't know why.
Well done, Yolanda. Yay!
Oh, yay! Thank you.
So we're very happy to see you in France very soon. In June, you'll be in Annecy, and I'll be there to support you. I don't know from the other judges. Munya would be there, I'm sure. Wendy, I don't know if you'll be there. No. Tambeleng and Zianda, maybe. But I'll be there, and we have a session together there to prepare your pitch. And I can't wait to see how far you can swim.
By the lake.
Yes, in the lake, Yolanda. You'll enjoy it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow. Yeah, wow. Okay, I don't know what to say. But yeah, thank you so much. This has really been such a great process. I just had a log line, I think, at the beginning of this. So this was really great to be part of the incubator and how it built the concept, and just also being amongst my peers and watching from them and learning what they were doing and trying to, you know, incorporate it into my project. So I'm really, really grateful. So
I would go for a swim with Dr. Mum and the daughter. I think they will give you amazing tips.
Yes, yeah, I already jotted some down as we were going through the pictures. I already jotted some stuff down. So yeah.
And also I think the Wolf and Wolf will want to design some swimming stuff. They are good at that.
I might knock on their door for that. I quite like what their merch look like. So yeah, thank you. And well done to you too. Well done.
Thanks so much to everyone. I give back to the Rainbow Nation. France is admiring you. And I love everyone on that screen. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Congratulations to everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you for participating in the Road to Annecy. Congratulations to Yolanda, a stunning project now on its way to France. And remember, if you want to be in the seat to possibly end up in France pitching your project at the Annecy International Animated Film Festival, then remember to like, subscribe, and enter in 2023. Thank you so much, team. Thank you for all your beautiful work. You were all fantastic. This has been a great session, and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.